Hi, neophytes. How are you all doing today? Um, well, before I begin this video, I'm told to tell you to like, subscribe, and share this video with whomever you think need this information. Okay? Now I'm going to begin because I'm going through some things and I'm going to share some things with you. I've come to realize things through experiences and confirmations and synchronicities, serendipities, signs, symbols that I've experienced that is confirming something that is going on. And what is going on is a shifting in my reality into the fifth dimension. Okay? And how do I know I am shifting my reality? Now, one of the signs that your reality is shifting or changing is, or one of the symptoms is this experience of vertigo and dizziness. Now, when you experience this, well, let me just explain it from my experience. So the things I've been experiencing, this dizziness or vertigo, and I don't have to necessarily be walking. Most of my symptoms of vertigo or dizziness is when I'm lying down or sitting. But I do notice that when I do experience it, it's like some kind of information is downloaded, or I would get a visual, a inner visual of something, or a feeling, or a sense, or smell, a feeling of something different. Like I start to look around to make sure I am still in my surroundings. It's as if you get this feeling like something is about to change or has changed. Like maybe your surroundings has changed, and really seems like more of my thinking, more of how I feel, because it seems like it affects how I think and how I feel. Now, some of you might ask, are you smoking or something? I don't smoke, I don't drink. I mostly eat like a vegetarian, but I do incorporate eggs. I don't want to say I'm a vegetarian or a vegan. And I do incorporate eggs because I need it to protein, because I just noticed certain things was going on, because when you go through these signs and symptoms and they affect you physically, you know, your physical body, your spirit body that's connecting with your physical body is saying that you need to make some adjustments to your lifestyle so that you can harmonize or balance out what's going on with you, so you can make a smooth transition into shifting into a different reality. So what is happening is your mindset is changing, and other things that's going on with me. You know, I do notice, I don't know, what's the name? I can't even think of the name of this movie, so I can't even mention the movie, but from, you know, I could be sitting and I notice light going back and forth in my eyes, not consistently, constantly, but every now and again I'll see like this light in my eyes. I've even noticed that recently, maybe a couple of months ago, I started getting like these eye crusts when I wake up. Now, I'm saying these things to let you understand that I do feel something in my reality is changing. And why is that? Is because I've also have been experienced, and I've always, every blue moon, experienced paranormal things since I was little, but it would be like once a year. It was not very often. But now this is happening every day. It's been happening every day. And I don't pick up anything negative. It does, I'm even to the point now where I even find I'm not throwing covers over my head because I'm afraid, and because I used to be really afraid of that. And if something like that happened, I would have to have someone come and sleep with me or turn the lights on, and here I am. I am a grandmother. Oh, by the way, if you hear anything in the background, that's my grandson watching his little shows on his iPad. So please excuse the noise in the background. And he's over on the other couch. So, as I was saying, I even feel different. Now, something I've also noticed is I've been applying, I was laid off a job back in 2016, and for 2 years it was so hard for me to find work. This year, I was able to get work once my son and I moved into this place, into this house. And I saved up money. Something happened, and I don't want to go into details, but all the money I saved is gone. And I don't even know why in my right mind I wasn't aware, as if I was so blinded to what was going on that it happened. And I can probably say, me not realizing certain things, or not being educated some way, it was bound to happen because I didn't have much knowledge of certain things. But anyway, so all of that money that was saved had to be used for emergency, and just I was even given a car, and I had to sell it because of an emergency. And something even went down. I was working a temp job from March up until August, and it didn't pan out. I've even been, excuse me just a second, have a seat. I've even been applying for jobs and getting interviews, but never making it to the next step. And one I did make it all the way, and still it didn't pan out. But yet, seems like the universe has always been providing, because I will get notifications about how to get money, or information will come to me like, okay, this is how you can continue to get money coming in. And at the same time, I am working on developing a business. Like, I've been getting some creative downloads, and most of these downloads is basically to aid those who are going through the same thing. It's like I'm able to put together things based on my experiences, and those who, so this video is just basically those who can relate to this information. If you can't relate to it because you're religious or whatever reason it is, then it's not for you. So just click off. The comments, the negative comments, is not needed. I mean, I don't even understand why people even waste their time. I guess it's just for fun. And I understand because I used to be that way, just for fun, would just say things. But now my thinking and how I view things is so different now. So again, back to experiencing paranormal things. There have been 2 or 3 mornings I've waken up and I have a fan in my bedroom. It's a ceiling fan. And of course the switch isn't on. I turn the fan on in the mornings when I work out to keep my body cool while I work out. And when I wake up, I notice slowly the ceiling fan will spin. Like just 2 mornings ago or the other morning, I just so happened to turn over, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, something was saying the fan is turning. And out of the corner of my eye, I kind of jumped because I was like, and finally just looked and noticed that fan is spinning. But it was spinning, it wasn't spinning in the direction that when you turn the switch on, it was spinning in reverse, but slowly. And when it first started doing that, I was checking to see if there was a draft, because I'm going to show you the fan in the ceiling here, that it has to be a strong wind to make it move. So my ceiling fan in my room is made of the same wooden material. If you notice, it's wooden with some kind of metal. And it has to be a strong, and my ceiling fan is bigger, but it's got metal and it's wooden, and it has to have a strong draft. I've noticed how just out of nowhere the power in the house just went out, and then of course we've had to have people come out and turn the power back on, and then it was like the central heating went out, so the house was cold for a couple of weeks. I honestly thought that maybe my son did not want the heat on, so he bought us little heaters for our rooms. And then he explained to me, he said, well, haven't you noticed the house is cold? And I was like, yeah, but I just thought you was turning the heater off. And I understand trying to save money. That's what I was thinking. He was trying to save money. But then it didn't make sense, because those little room heaters pull more energy than the central heating in the home. So I did explain that to him. Of course, he tried to make sure that we made sure that we got the central heating back on before his son came for the weekend. So it's back on, but it's just weird things. And then the television here, right there, and I don't know if you can see past my water, there's the remote. Now I noticed there have been times I'll walk up here, because I spend a lot of time in my room, and I'm only up here because my grandson is here this weekend. And I noticed I'll walk to the restroom and coming out and notice the television on, or just so happen to have to come up to the front to maybe make something to eat and notice the television on. There have been days I've been in the kitchen cooking and decide to walk over here towards the edge of the room and notice the TV is on. And I'm just like, I've even awakened out of my sleep hearing voices or someone about to say something, but open up my eyes so quick and noticing certain things leave the room, like a black mist leave the room. So I do have, what is that called? Sage. So yesterday, the ceiling fan was doing its thing. It wouldn't stop spinning. It stopped spinning, and it started back spinning again. But when I did the saging of the house, the ceiling fan stopped spinning. But as I was going back in my room, I felt a breeze as if someone walked past me. Okay, so it's like, I know I should be scared, but for some reason, I don't find it as bad, because I even noticed that signs from nature, like squirrels, chipmunks, birds flying to the door, coming to the door, tapping, playing on the door as if they want to come in. And I kind of looked that up, like, what is going on with these animals? And when it first happened, which was about 2 or 3 months ago, spiritual meaning of a chipmunk or squirrel coming to your door, or if they're looking in or coming in, is they sense the presence of your spiritual guide. So that's a strong presence. But of course, you know, nature, animals in nature sense things of a higher realm than we do. So I've even had where birds were trying to fly in. Even if I'm sitting in my bedroom, you know, I hear the birds hit the window or see the birds hitting the window. And I'm like, And I've been here since January, late January, and it was quiet. It was always quiet in here. And now all of these things are starting to happen. I've also even noticed that, you know, back in the days, I would see like little sparks of light appear out of nowhere. Now I'm seeing it appear even more often. So it's like my mentality has changed. The way certain people view things is like as if I intuitively hear guidance, guidance of information explain certain things to me. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I really don't get calls. So anyway, so this is more like a small shifting into what some people may say the fifth dimension, or just a shift in your reality. I don't know what dimension. But also what I am dealing with, and I'm just being honest with you, is what is so hard for me to totally move forward is I'm having a problem letting go. Because about 5 years ago, I met someone who I have a very strong spiritual emotional bond to, that even though I have physically let them go, emotionally it seems like I am having a problem. Hold on just a second again. So and I know this person entered my life because there were some things I need to develop within myself and let go of. Of course, speaking about planetary influences is real, because sometimes when you're not paying attention to that, it just happens. Things are going to happen. You're going to be influenced by those energies. So emotionally, I sense them, I feel them. And even though what took place between us, I'm ready to move on from that, emotionally I'm really having a hard time letting go, because you know, these thoughts, these feelings, and I end up getting depressed. And sometimes I may not even be getting depressed from that. I do get depressed from just things I'm trying to let go of in my life. There are just moments where I get depressed, I cry, and even right now, it's like a heaviness on my heart. As much as I want to develop and grow, it's like, gosh, you know, it's like a delay in my development, because I am trying to use what I know, my mind is trying to help me to understand the importance of my development and letting go emotionally. And it's not easy. It is not easy. I think that right there, the emotional part of it, when there's a strong bond that you're having with someone, and that happens on your path. You meet someone, kindred spirit, someone you come in contact with that you have a strong spiritual bond with, and they're just in your life to teach you something. It's not to say they're going to be in your life forever, but it's like, I feel this person. It's like I feel them. And even when I know it's not me, I could be enjoying life. Like yesterday was my birthday, December 7th, and I was just enjoying my life. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the day, when it's time to go to bed, get this overwhelming feeling of emotions, thoughts coming at me like, what is this? Why? It's like the moment of letting go, when I just know I am healed, it comes over me, and I'm not understanding that part. But when I do, and I can resolve it, and I get full clarity from my spiritual guides or dream guidance, trust me, I will be back to let you know. Or even if you out there can offer up a resolution, please leave it in the comments. And I'm not going to prolong this video. I don't like very long, drawn out videos, but there may be a part 2 to this. If you want me to go further and deeper into a lot of my experiences, I can and I will. Because there is so much that I've experienced, so much that I have, it probably be maybe 2 hours long. Yes, 2 hours. But I'm just doing my best to relate to those who are going through the same thing. And of course, there are physical changes that you experience, and, the guidance that I've been getting is just intuitive guidance, and it just confirmed that eventually I'll open up something or come in contact with someone who will confirm what changes I've made in my life. Down to the way I eat, exercising, things just to help balance out what I am experienced through pains, hurts, physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, mental symptoms. So I'll do things to change certain things about what I'm eating, doing my best to change how I'm thinking, doing more meditations. I've been meditating every day, praying every day, because there was a time where I stopped praying, but now it's like I've instituted, because I need that conversation with spiritual guides, ascended masters, my ancestors, my higher self. And then in meditation, I receive answers, downloads, and sometimes even if I'm not sitting there doing deep breathing, sometimes I'm just sitting there and just complete quiet and just sitting, and I receive downloads, even through my dreams. So I'm going to end this video on that note. And like I stated, if you have any questions of things that I may have experienced, I'm good at explaining things if being questioned. Please leave me questions that you may have. I do have an Instagram, and I would also put that in the description box. All right. Peace. Stay blessed, neophytes. All right, my neos, I'm out.